What up, Fight World? This Amin Boxing Club, man. Let's get to it. So, Jared Anderson versus Charles Martin, man, was a good fight. I'm gonna start with saying, Charles Martin, man, he a type of fighter that we seen what he did against Anthony Joshua. If you're a boxing fan, if you really watch boxing for real, when it seemed like he took a dive, like he just came for a paycheck, and before he fought Anthony Joshua, man, I was looking at him like he could be, I liked how he fight. I thought he could be a problem in the heavyweight division. And when he seemed like he took that dive against Anthony Joshua, got paid all that money, and then I think he like became a rapper, and I think he got caught with drugs. It was all type of stuff he was doing after that. Like he just was a rock star after that. But he got back into boxing, and I like Charles Martin as a boxer, man. I felt like when he came back, I was like, oh, that could be, that's good. Hopefully, he still, got some hunger in him. So, Charles Martin, man, he fought Luis Ortiz in his last fight, and he was fighting a real good fight, man. Luis Ortiz is just a slick southpaw, real good heavyweight, man. He just old, man, but. Luis Ortiz, he caught him with a good shot. He got him out of there. He hurt him. He got him out of there, whatever. But Charles Martin was game in that fight until he got hurt. And I knew coming into this fight, I ain't get to make a video because I've been in the hospital. I just had a son that was born, so I'm in the hospital, and I couldn't really put out the video like I wanted to or whatever. So I wanted to just speak on it and say like I knew he was gonna be game. But another thing, Marcos did an interview on Fight Hype with Jared Anderson, and I ain't like how Jared Anderson was talking. He seemed like he was cocky. He seemed like he was super cocky. He was saying stuff like he only boxing for the money, and he said he 23 years old. He said he wanted to retire at 26. I ain't like how all of that stuff sound, man. It made me look at him a little different. I still think that he could be a problem in the heavyweight division. I was looking at him as somebody that was going to take over. But, I'm not so sure if he could take over with the mindset. If you're going to retire at 26 years old and, you only boxing for the money, man, like, I don't really like how that sounds for real. But, he seemed cocky. And I think tonight he got humbled. And I think he dominated. Don't get me wrong now. He dominated. He overcame adversity. He showed that he a great fighter. Like, people got to understand Charles Martin is really game, and he game against any of those heavyweights. I mean, I feel like Charles Martin is a good test for any of those heavyweights, man. You know what I'm saying? He was dangerous the whole fight. Jared Anderson went the full 10 rounds with him. He didn't get to knock him out. This is the first person that he went the distance with. And I feel like in this fight, man, he thought he was gonna get him out in the 5th round within 5, but and Charles Martin was the last minute replacement, but it didn't go down like that, man. And Charles Martin was game, and he hurt Jared Anderson like a couple times in the fight, at least 2 times he hurt him, and Jared he held his composure, man. He did his thing like he didn't let it. He didn't go down, and he didn't start running or nothing like that. He just one of them was at the end of the round, and the round was over, but he seemed like he still kept his composure and he was gonna still fight. But you can tell, if you watching hard, you could tell that he was hurt. I feel like this fight could make Jared Anderson a better fighter, man. I hope that this fight made him want to go harder in boxing and go in the gym and work harder, man. And I ain't saying he didn't work hard for this fight, but all I'm saying is I want him to have that hunger. I want him to love the sport of boxing, man. This is what you do. At 23, I don't want you saying you do it only for the money, man. And I feel like, yes, it was a hometown fight, but I don't think it was hometown jitters. I seen Regis Prograis asking, was it hometown jitters? I don't think that's what it was. I think that Jared Anderson is a cocky dude, but he could fight. He could fight real good. But I think he was like cocky, and hopefully this fight humbled him, man. And even though he dominated, still, it humbled him to the point that he know that you could be hurt, and you know that you was in danger in that fight. And Charles Martin was game the whole fight, and he can get better on his defense. Now, don't get me wrong, Jared Anderson, man, he tightened up on his defense when he got hurt. He was making adjustments. He was doing stuff like he was working out. He started working off of his jab. He was beating Charles Martin with a jab after he got hurt or whatever. He came back. He started beating him with a jab, and then he'll sneak a left hook in, working off the jab, making him look like a jab, and he'll turn into a left hook. He was switching from southpaw to orthodox. Man, he made adjustments, man, and he was clearly the better fighter. But I feel like a fight like that, that fight, hopefully it humbled him and it made him, look, man, you ain't untouchable. You can get hurt and all of that. So, go back to the drawing board. Even though you won, go back to the drawing board and tighten up your game and, come out sharper the next time. But I feel like Charles Martin could be a test for any of the top heavyweights. Not saying he'll beat them, but he could be a test. He got power, and he a counter puncher with power. So, and he got good size too. He was the bigger fighter. Charles Martin was the bigger fighter, the longer fighter. Jared Anderson still got the job done, man. But hopefully he ain't have to lose to taste the humble pie. But hopefully he tasted that humble pie. And he get better from that. But man, that's all I got, Fight World. So Boxing Club. Everybody like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out.